guys, back in the garage today. Unfortunately, I gotta pull the engine on the ls1, so my clutch isn't disengaging properly, and the only way for me to fix it is to be able to pull the engine out and put a couple more shims behind the throwout bearing. So 6 one way, half a dozen the other. The engine's got to come out. I can fix my oil leak at my oil pan that's dripping a little bit and make sure everything's okay there. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it today and get the engine pulled out. Probably go ahead and switch to the GoPro, so just put you on my head and we'll go through pulling the engine out. Might break this video up into 2 parts, just depends on how long it takes me. I kind of designed it to where one person can pull it out in a relative amount of time. I've never actually pulled the engine by itself. I've always done it with the transmission attached. But today we are going to try and just pull the engine. I'd like to leave the transmission and drive shaft and all that in the car still. So it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve because I've never done that before. I always just pull it as a unit. So we're going to go ahead and get the coolant drain and get the radiator out, and then we'll take the intake off, move the intake to the side, get all the wiring moved off to the side, get the coil packs off, and then hopefully I can just unbolt the headers and move them off to the side, unbolt the engine mounts, and lift it straight up and out. That's the plan. We'll see how well it goes. We're gonna give it a shot. Hopefully a couple hours, engine will be out of the car, can get everything fixed, and then hopefully tomorrow or the next day the engine will go back in the car and everything will be a-okay. So here we go. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start by disconnecting this lower coolant hose and getting the coolant drained out, so where we can get the radiator out of the car and give us some room in the front here. This is our temporary coolant overflow for when we were running the car. Alright, radiator's out. A lot more room to work with here. So now we're going to go ahead and pull the intake back off, so that's out of the way, and then we can pull the wiring and the coil packs. Okay, now might end up having to pull that oil pressure sensor off. But I got 1, 2, 3 bolts to get to at the top of the bell housing. 4, probably get to most of those from the top. So go ahead and try and undo those. those are all the ones we can get to from up top. So go ahead and unbolt the header now, which socket is back in here. Hopefully this will work. Hopefully this side will pull out of the way too, otherwise we're going to have to go underneath and unbolt the exhaust. Which it appears that side's not going to pull out far enough. So we'll have to get under there and undo that U-clamp I got under there to be able to pull this header off, which is okay, no big deal. So I'm going to go ahead and get the car jacked up and then I'll bring you guys back up top. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pull this wheel off so I can get in here. Ooh, maybe I'm not pulling this wheel off. Okay, well we'll let this battery charge and then maybe it'll pull the wheel off. Probably should have broken loose before I jacked it up, but it is what it is at this point. We will see if we can't do what we need to do without pulling the wheel off. Pretty much just need to undo the starter bolts or the starter wires. The starter can come out with the engine, I believe. So I just gotta get under there, undo the crank position sensor and the starter wiring. We can get to that through here. That's unplugged, so that's undone. Pull this up, out the way. Pull that up, out the way. So now all our wiring's undone. I was able to get this header over quite a bit, so I'm gonna just run with that. And then now all I should have to do is hook the engine hoist up and unbolt the motor mounts. And I'm actually going to unbolt the motor mounts from the motor, and hopefully that'll work. Looks like we got one more bell housing bolt down there on that side. And I think there's one more down on that side. So we'll go ahead and go get those undone
And then probably go ahead and hook the engine hoist up before I unbolt those. Well, the motor mount should hold it. So we'll go ahead and unbolt those and see how that goes. I don't know how easy it is gonna be to get in here. Get that unbolted. Oop. Put you guys on the car. That one might be easier to get from the top. That one's gonna be a tight fit. Well, okay, this one's going to take some time, so I'm going to go ahead and get this one off, and then I'll bring you guys back along. Okay, I got these oil lines attached here. Sorry to bring you guys along for that. It was just kind of a pain in the ass threading them back up and getting them up over here. I zip tied some gloves around them so it won't leak everywhere. So now we're just, so as long as we got enough clearance, we can come forward a little bit. And we'll come up. Oh, this thing. These things can always be a pain in the ass to do on your own. It seems to always want to turn. So, almost there. A little bit more. Okay, as you can see, the engine is out of the car, hanging right there. Engine bay, nothing in it. It's empty. Looks naked. But I'm gonna go ahead and clean everything up, and we're gonna re-shim that throwout bearing right there. So hopefully the clutch will engage better. There's a little bit of oil in the bell housing, not much, but just enough to be a little bit concerning. So we're probably going to go ahead and pull the flywheel and everything off and make sure it's not our rear main seal. And if it is our rear main seal, we'll go ahead and replace that since the engine's out. We're going to go ahead and take the oil pan off and probably put some gray RTV on the oil pan gasket and reseal all that up. For you guys, that'll probably be tomorrow. I'll probably do that video for tomorrow instead of today or the next day. Whenever this will probably go up Friday. So Saturday we'll be replacing and fixing everything. And hopefully we'll put the engine back in. Might put the engine back in tomorrow depending on how everything goes. But as you can see, pulled it by myself, and for you guys it's probably 10 minutes. Realistically, it took me about 2 hours. It's not bad. Pretty simple. I kind of designed everything to where it comes apart pretty good. There's a better look at the engine mounts that I made. Still used the factory mounting points, and I used poly bushings and built them up off of that. I toyed with the idea of maybe making these and selling them, but it's just too much work for me to do unless you guys are really interested in something like that. Just let me know in the comments below if you'd be interested in motor mounts for ls1 for a e30. If not, I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm going to fix all that up, get the engine back in. Hopefully we'll be good to go. I got an event on the 22nd and 23rd of July, or is it 22nd, 23rd, 24th, one of those 3 days, or 2 of those 3 days. So hopefully we'll get everything fixed up and back together. Should be a piece of cake. But for now, I'm gonna let you go. Like, comment, subscribe down below, and don't forget we got some merchandise, and that link will be down below too. Anything you buy goes to help support the channel here and the stuff that we do on here. So that's it. We'll see you in the next one.